Today, we're going to completely flip how you think about wealth and personal finance. Seriously, if you've ever felt like building wealth is this impossible math equation designed only for absolute geniuses, well, you are in the exact right place. We're breaking down the core insights from Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money to show you that financial success actually isn't a hard science at all. It's a soft skill.
This first point is a massive reality check. Listen to this. Your entire financial worldview, your fears, your strategies, your appetite for risk, it's likely biased by a tiny, almost microscopic, isolated fraction of your own life experiences. Whether you grew up during a crushing recession or a booming stock market, that specific upbringing forms a lens that often leads to major misconceptions. Basically, we base about 80% of our worldview on almost 0% of the world's actual financial history. Crazy, right?
Which brings us to a rather unconventional question. What if doing the strictly average thing is the true mark of financial genius? Housel points out that a financial genius is very often just the person who can do the average thing when absolutely everyone else around them is completely losing their mind. It completely challenges everything society tells us about needing to be extraordinary to succeed.
So, the crucial point is a massive paradigm shift. You see, standard finance teaches us that money is a math-based field. We're told it's all about spreadsheets, complex formulas, and high IQs. But real wealth? That's about psychology, emotion, and behavior. Fear, greed, and pride drive our daily choices way more than any calculator ever does. Those soft skills are actually far more crucial than having technical financial knowledge.
Section 1. Behavior over financial math.
Here's the thing. Building wealth really has surprisingly little to do with your income or your investment returns, and has a whole lot to do with your savings rate. Saving is a habit. It's not a specific dollar amount. The absolute truest, most controllable measure of your financial progress is simply the gap between your ego and your income. Put simply, it's the gap between what you earn and what you spend.
Let's put this into perspective. Imagine a high earner with a massive six-figure salary, but they spend every single dime just to keep up appearances. Their savings rate? Literally zero. Now compare that to a moderate earner who consistently saves a high percentage of their income. That moderate earner is always going to outpace the high earner over time. Always. Earning a lot of money absolutely does not guarantee wealth. Disciplined saving does.
Section 2. True wealth is invisible. All right, we have to talk about the man in the car paradox. Think about it. When you see someone driving a $100,000 sports car down the street, you rarely look at them and think, wow, the person driving that is so cool. No, you think, wow, if I had that car, people would think I'm cool. Do you see the irony there? The driver is entirely invisible to us. We're just admiring the fiberglass. We buy luxury items to gain admiration, but the observers are just admiring the object itself, not the owner. Trying to look wealthy is very often the exact thing that prevents you from actually being wealthy.
True wealth is hidden. It is exactly what you don't see. Wealth is the nice cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the watches not worn. It's the fully funded retirement account. It's the paid-off mortgage. It's the emergency savings sitting in the bank. True wealth is created through delayed gratification, resisting those immediate flashy purchases in favor of long-term security.
Section 3. Time, luck, and risk. 0. That is the exact number of brilliant investment decisions you need to make to build wealth. I'm serious. Good investing isn't about making consistently great knock-it-out-of-the-park decisions. It's actually just about consistently not screwing up over a really long time horizon.
Okay, let's dive into this because this is exactly where the magic happens. Compounding. Time is your absolute greatest ally here. To let compounding do the heavy lifting, you've got to do a few simple things. You need to start early, reinvest your returns, minimize your fees and taxes, diversify your portfolio, and, this is the big one, avoid panic selling during market downturns. Patience is completely mandatory here because the effects of compounding just aren't immediately visible.
But, while you're waiting for compounding to do its thing, you are inevitably going to encounter the twin brothers of finance, luck and risk. Just remember, nothing is actually as good or as bad as it seems. Not every success you have is due to your pure skill, and conversely, not every failure is sheer incompetence. Openly acknowledging luck keeps you humble during the highs, and recognizing risk keeps you resilient during the crushing lows.
And because we literally cannot predict luck or risk, we have to build in a margin of safety. This means maintaining a really substantial emergency fund, developing diverse skill sets so you always have personal value in the job market, and ideally, creating multiple income streams.
Having this kind of flexibility acts like a giant shock absorber for life's unpredictable financial bumps.
Section 4. Play your own game.
Few things matter more with your money than understanding your own personal time horizon. Do not play someone else's game. Taking financial cues from your frantic, day-trading neighbor or some flashy billionaire you see on TV is a complete recipe for disaster. Context is everything. They have entirely different risk tolerances and time horizons than you do. You've got to identify your own financial game and then stick to it.
Your specific game is a totally unique balancing act. By carefully balancing your age, your short and long-term goals, your family situation, your personal risk tolerance, and your current assets, you ensure that your financial decisions align strictly with your reality. Not someone else's highlight reel, but yours. Personal finance is, at the end of the day, deeply personal.
Section 5. Freedom is ultimate wealth.
Now, what's really interesting about this idea is that it changes the definition of success entirely. The absolute highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every single morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. The ultimate goal of money isn't to just buy more things, it's to buy back your time. Having control over your time is quite literally the highest dividend that money pays.
To actually reach that level of freedom, you have to understand the power of enough. If you are constantly moving your financial goalposts, it just leads to perpetual dissatisfaction and taking really dangerous risks at the cost of your peace of mind. Cultivating true contentment, knowing exactly what your definition of enough is, and practicing gratitude for what you already have, that is the only successful way to finally exit the exhausting financial rat race.
So I'll leave you with this. What does true financial freedom look like for your unique life? And when will you know that you have enough? Remember, wealth isn't about raw intelligence. It's about behavior. It's about letting time work its magic for you, maintaining that critical margin of safety, and keeping your ego firmly in check. Take some time to think deeply about how you can apply these behavioral lessons to your own pursuit of true wealth. Thanks for hanging out for this explainer. Now go figure out your enough.